Hey guys, what's going on? It's Savage here, and today we're going to be talking about Robin in the Batman series and just basically live action in general. And today I have a special guest. We have Jake, aka Iron Jen. How you doing, Jake? Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am doing so good. It's an honor to be here. Thanks for inviting me on, Marcel.
Yeah, I'm happy to have you. I don't know if we've ever had like a proper dual com together. I feel like we've always been stuck with like Kobe in the background or something, or
Yeah,
even Dustin too.
yeah. We've always had those two, like third wheeling or whatever. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Yeah. So today we're going to talk about the Robin and like Robin in the Batman franchise. And basically, if it's even possible, now I want to hear your take because I always hear other people's takes all the time in my comments about how it's not possible, how it's not even feasible, how it would be weird to have like a 12-year-old or like a 13-year-old following Batman in this universe being shot at by criminals. How do you feel about that? Do you think that that's a logical argument?
So I do think it's a logical argument, and I think that Robin would be very difficult to adapt into live action. I don't think it's
Mhm.
impossible though, because there have been other properties that have done similar things. One that comes to mind is The Last of Us. Another one is the Netflix film Extraction. Both of those involved an adult soldier type character going with a very young child essentially through war zones, or in the case of The Last of Us, the apocalypse. And
Right.
so I do think that there is a case where if you have Dick Grayson or Jason Todd or whichever character you want to go with, even if they're a child or if they're a teenager or whatever age you want to start them off with, you have a plot where Tony Zucco or Rupert Thorne or some mob boss in Gotham wants them dead for whatever reason. And then you have Batman have no choice but to kind of keep them in the line of fire and try to protect them. Or alternatively, you could have Robin be aged up just a bit and have Batman realize that he can't stop this kid still from going out and exacting vengeance on the people that murdered his family. Batman could see himself in that and realize that it would be better to assist in helping Robin achieve his goals rather than try to stop him, because he can't. He can see that same fire that he has for his own crusade.
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. Honestly, I didn't really ever think about that type of plot line of like instead of like Batman seeing him and trying, because I always thought like it would be Batman reaching out to Robin and trying to help him, but instead it's Batman kind of trying to not stop Robin, but assist him in the goal of exacting vengeance that he knows that Robin's not going to stop until, of course, he gets that vengeance. So that's a good way of looking at it too, and I honestly like that. And I think that no matter what age they do, like if it's over 18, it's going to be kind of just weird because why would Batman take in like a ward that's like 18? So you have to
Yeah,
kind of go in the teenage years or like maybe like the almost like 12 to 13 range. And I think that what the Batman animated series did was very well. Like it was a 16-year-old, I think, or maybe a 17-year-old, but either way he was almost going off to college in some way, like almost like I think there was like a Ra's al Ghul episode around like episode 30 or something like that I remember, but he was in college basically by himself doing his own thing. And it was very interesting how that integrated in because, he doesn't always have to be with Batman every single moment of every single day. So, the first movie can establish them kind of being together and kind of Batman training them. And then the third movie doesn't even really have to have Robin all together in there all the time. It would just kind of build up that character and kind of let him do his own thing afterwards. And, it's always been kind of prevalent for Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves. They've always been like saying how much they want to actually include this character and how exciting it would be. So I think that it is possible. And the examples that you gave like about some of the past versions, like I would even think that Crystal Donald kind of worked as well. Like it wasn't like the best thing ever, but that still worked in that universe, and that still kind of like in many ways was okay with the generation that it was. I mean, he was in two movies, I believe, right?
yeah, yep, that's right.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't see them like if they monetize it, I don't see it being any problem as long as they kind of keep it in the realm of realism. They don't go too far with the, child being put into line of fire, but they could also give him a cool armor suit too if they wanted to. Kind of like how Batman has.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And I think that the story of the Robins is a lot darker in the comics than a lot of people uh, realize sometimes. I think a lot of people grew up watching Batman the animated series, where really it is just a kid wearing bright colors in the line of fire. Whereas in the comics, a child dies. Jason Todd is murdered at the hands of the Joker. and then Bruce Wayne has to carry the consequences of that with him, and it haunts him. And Jason Todd comes back in the form of Red Hood. And I think that where we have this universe that Matt Reeves is creating that is so grounded and so dark, I think that that would be the perfect place to explore these plot lines. And it could be really interesting because they could do their own take on it. Red Hood could perhaps not even be like a resurrected Jason Todd, but instead just a figment of Bruce Wayne's paranoia, or brought about by like scarecrow toxin or something. They could really delve into the psychological consequences of the death of Robin.
Honestly, I think that that could work, but I have a question.
Yeah.
If they do Robin, do you think that it would be a better idea to start off with Jason in this universe compared to Dick Grayson, just for public reception and public opinion? Because I think that most people think that Dick Grayson is the more lighthearted and more, happy-go-lucky Robin compared to Jason Todd, who's always down on his luck. Like he started out basically as a street orphan who was trying to steal from Batman. At least in the revamped version. I guess in the first version he was more like Dick Grayson, but the more they actually explored the character, the more they kind of like, branched out and did his own thing. So, do you think that that would be more of a better inclusion than Dick Grayson, to having Jason Todd there being that type of street orphan doing bad things before Batman picks him up? Or do you think they should do the traditional Robin story?
I think it depends on the kind of story that they want to tell with it. I think that if they're trying to go in a more lighthearted direction for the sequel, then I do think Dick Grayson would be a really interesting counterbalance to the very emo portrayal of Batman from Rob Pattinson. And I loved it. I'm not saying that as an insult. I loved it, but
Oh no.
I
Yeah.
I think that that could be an interesting dynamic. Again, sort of a callback to the dynamic in The Last of Us between Joel and Ellie, where you have this hardened, like 50-year-old man versus this very happy, charming 14-year-old teenage girl. I think that that could sort of carry over into the dynamic between Batman and Robin. I do think that Jason Todd would fit the tone that has been set by the first movie more. And I also think that another thing to consider is that it would be very difficult to incorporate the entire Bat family into a single film saga. If they had like a 20
Yeah.
season TV show, maybe they could cover it. But I think that really picking and choosing maybe one or two Robins, not including like all three. But yeah, like if they want to go the death in the family storyline, I'd say bring in Jason Todd. If they want to have Robin kind of be a supporting character that assists for multiple films, then bring in Dick Grayson.
I gotcha. So I personally, this is my belief, and I honestly think that they should go the Jason Todd route and like have him introduced in the second movie, have him maybe become Robin in the second movie, and then have a Joker be in the third or fourth movie and kill off Jason Todd and have that be like this Joker's big mainstay, something that actually branches him out compared to the other Jokers. Because while Jared Leto might have killed Joe or Robin in the other universe, we don't really get a sense of that, and we don't really like see that Batman gives a shit in many ways. So I think it would be more interesting to see this more personally connected Batman with this Robin have his Robin get murdered after like a few films of development. I think that that would be a nice way to see it, because I don't want that to happen to Dick Grayson again. We all know that Zack Snyder actually had done that before, and that was a stupid fucking decision. Like, why would he do that? Like, why do you think that's a good idea to kill off Dick Grayson?
I understood why that was the direction they were going to go. I understood that, kind of like I said earlier, I think that it would be really convoluted to try and explain, oh, yeah, Batman did have a Robin. Now he has a new Robin who died, and he might pick up another Robin down the road. So I understand kind of just bringing that all into one character. But with that being
Hmm.
said, I think that Dick Grayson just has such a legacy of his own where he becomes Nightwing and he branches off from Batman. And I think that he is maybe, I don't know, he's neck and neck with Batgirl in regards to being a character that is completely independent from Batman and Batman's popularity, where
Hmm.
people in the comic book community love reading Batgirl and they love reading Nightwing without it being attached to a Batman story. So I don't think that it was a great idea to kill him off, especially where there were plans for a Nightwing film. And I don't know, it seems like a very bizarre choice to not just use Jason Todd, especially when he's not given any screen time anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was super weird. So overall, I think that Robin can work, especially in this universe. I think that especially now that Batman's more hopeful and in the public reception, he is seen more as a hero than an anti-hero or like some type of crazed man in a bat suit. He's actually shown as a hopeful figure upon Gotham now, where people actually like see him as hope. So I think that this could work for Robin too, where he brings in Robin and he's also a figure of hope, where he's like just like his little sidekick, and that also helps Batman's public reception more and more. That would be a fun thing to see overall in these films. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that there is definitely a case for the arguments against Robin. I understand that there is a lot of concern, especially due to the fact that the Chris O'Donnell version of the character was in films that people just simply did not like. Batman Forever and Batman and Robin are the two most criticized Batman films of all time. And so
Hey,
I
wait a minute.
understand
They have a cult following right now,
they
man.
do.
You got to go look on Twitter. A
Oh
lot of
no, they
people like these
absolutely do.
movies.
Yeah.
Batman Forever. I saw somebody posting something about Riddler in Batman Forever being better than Paul Dano, and I'm like, really?
Dang.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, there definitely is a cult following. And I mean, I'm not saying I don't enjoy them. I just enjoy them for a very different reason than I enjoy something like The Dark Knight or The Batman. But I think that there is a case to be apprehensive about Robin. I think ultimately, though, um, it's been proven time and time again. We've seen Spider-Man, well, two iterations of Spider-Man at the same time in Tom Holland and in the Into the Spider-Verse Miles Morales iteration. We've seen teenagers pick up the mantle of Spider-Man. We saw Logan, where again, Last of Us dynamic, old
Yeah,
guy,
but
young
yeah.
girl, like, so it's not like this isn't something that we've seen.
Oh,
And
hey, wait a minute. Also, Doctor Strange just did that too,
yeah,
where
that's
Doctor
true.
Strange is taking a little girl on a little adventure and trying to protect her.
Yeah, I think it's super easy to write a story where a target is put on Dick Grayson's head. Maybe he watched his parents get killed by the wrong guy, and so that guy now wants
No,
Dick
he
Grayson
heard
dead.
he heard it. He overheard it, kind of like in the comics,
Yeah. So
because he technically knew, like he overheard it in the background. So that could be a good plot point.
yeah, so he could have a target put on his head that Bruce needs to help protect him from, and there's really no way to keep him out of the line of fire. Maybe they're facing a threat that isn't quite as deadly as the last adventure was in the Batman universe, and Bruce is more willing to let a kid put themselves into harm's way to an extent to
Right.
to really build his own crusade. And I could see it. I feel like there's just a lot of ways that Bruce Wayne's character I could see being willing to accept a younger version of himself essentially into the fold and into his crusade.
Right. I totally agree. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to both my channel and Irongen's channel. Our links will be in the description below. And yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Peace out.